Hey, what's going on, guys? It is the SMT. Thanks for tuning in to watch this edition of the channel. Today, I have bad news. Bad news for a lot of people. Those that possibly may be affected in terms of their jobs, and those that may be affected by some price increases. Both are terrible. I really, I had to kind of bring it up this way because there's no way you can cut it and it looks good, because the timing is critical with the merger just approved and all of that stuff that led up to this situation with all the promises and all of that. This really doesn't look good, and I'm not going to jump to conclusions. I got all of the sources to confirm it, so I want to cover that all in today's video. All of that starts now. In today's video, we're going to talk about two things that affect customers in a negative way and also employees, working Americans, in a negative way. Let's start things off with the pricing piece. So T-Mobile is increasing their Protection 360 plan. This is their device insurance plan, which a lot of people probably are taking advantage of as a service and a product from T-Mobile. The price bump is actually not immediate, but it is going to take effect starting in April. I believe the actual date is April 18th of 2020. So once we get to that date and your next following billing cycle is either on that date, April 18th, or after that date, you will see that price bump on your bill. There are multiple tiers for the Protection 360 device smartphone insurance plan. I believe there are 5 tiers, and the way this is going to work in terms of the price increases, Tier 1 and Tier 2 are going to remain unchanged, so they're not going to be affected by this price bump. However, Tier 3, 4, and 5 are going to have the price increases. So Tier 1 and Tier 2 are going to stay at $7 and $9 respectively, but Tier 3 is going to go from $12 to $13, Tier 4 is going to bump from $14 to $16, and then Tier 5, which is also, I think, covers their BYOD, is going to go from $15 to $18. For those of you that are unaware with what Protection 360 really is, it does offer a lot of coverage for what could happen to your smartphone. So in terms of failing hardware, in terms of accidental damages and drops, perhaps, there's loss and theft, all of those different tiers can get you protections for those things. The service also includes Apple Care, and I also think it also includes jump upgrades and screen protectors. So it is a really nice service and protection plan that T-Mobile does offer. There actually was word from T-Mobile for a reason for why they were increasing these packages, and they were saying that it's due to smartphone costs. So flagships now costing over $1,000. Obviously, they're going to want to reflect that in terms of the coverage being so premium, asking for more from the top 3 tiers. Here's the thing. Not everybody has $1,000 or more smartphone, but this is going to affect every customer who has a Tier 3, 4, or 5 pricing plan. So even though they might have, say, like a $300 or a $500 smartphone, but they still want the coverage, why in the world are they having to pay for this price increase? Because they don't have any type of $1,000 or more flagship. Regardless, I don't care how you slice it, the worst thing about this is timing. With the T-Mobile and Sprint merger approved, all regulatory bodies approving it, and then Judge Victor Marrero giving it the okay and not allowing the block to happen, it's no coincidence. I think the only true tell that we could really get was to know if this was planned from before the merger was approved, and if that's the case, then fine. And of course, it didn't affect all tiers of the insurance program, but it did affect 3 out of the 5, and those price increases are pretty substantial. One increased by $1, one increased by $2, and the other increased by $3. So the one that increased by $3, that is nothing to sneeze at. That's a pretty considerable amount. And all of this is coming from a company which does not have a track record for price increases. T-Mobile has pretty much systematically tried to avoid price increases every turn. They've tried to avoid price increases to Netflix. They've tried to include as much as they can in value to their customers. So this really is uncharacteristic of what they're doing. So it does kind of become a head scratcher at that point. Price increases are terrible, and of course they really do happen. It's not unreasonable to see price increases with certain products and different types of plans and packages. So actually, to me, it's not the end of the world. While that's less than ideal, it's still not the end of the world. But this that I'm about to report on is actually far more concerning. It appears that Metro by T-Mobile is going to be incurring many job losses. This is going to affect a lot of people, and it looks like it's pretty much imminent, and it has been confirmed from T-Mobile sources. Those of you that are aware with the prepaid arm of T-Mobile, it is Metro by T-Mobile. It's one of the most successful and fastest growing prepaid companies in wireless in the USA, and since 2012/13, when T-Mobile acquired the company Metro PCS and completed that merger, everything has been pretty fantastic for the company. Now we're getting the reports that these layoffs are going to happen, and it's not speculation, it is confirmed. These layoffs, while we don't know the extent, that's a little bit of an unknown. There aren't many specifics to report on. We do know that the timing couldn't be any worse. Like I said, the merger was just approved, and one of the things that was promised was job protections. Let's do a quick little history lesson. Back in 2012/13, when the merger of Metro PCS was completed between T-Mobile and Metro PCS, T-Mobile cut hundreds of jobs. What they did actually was they were cutting jobs at their Bellevue headquarters. Initially, it was hundreds of jobs cut on the T-Mobile side, but they actually ended up cutting over 4,000 jobs in totality in that first year after the merger. Quick little history lesson, and this is very recent. Texas was one of the states that actually opposed the merger initially, and it was flipped. If you guys remember, Texas was siding with New York and California to oppose the merger. Only a few months later, they ended up flipping after getting concessions and promises from T-Mobile for network build-out and job protections. Look, I am not a conspiracy theorist, but all of this is happening immediately upon the merger completion. I don't want to overreact, but the timing is impeccable. There's just no way you could call it like this. I mean, right after? I mean, it's literally been a week or two, and here we are with layoffs and price increases. I really need your help in this. Am I overreacting? That could be a possibility, but the timing is impeccable. And if I'm not overreacting, and you do think this is warranted, what is your take on it? What do you guys think of the timing? What do you guys think of these two pieces of news? How big of a deal do you think they are, and do you think there's something more to this than really what is at the surface? I really was excited about the merger when it came to the network possibilities. I really believed in what T-Mobile would do in terms of a company and offering something different than the rest of the wireless industry. But if this is the way things are going to go, this is not getting off on the right foot. If this is happening now, then what's our expectations moving forward? It could probably continue in this trajectory or possibly get worse. I don't know, maybe you guys gotta talk me off this ledge, but as of right now, things aren't looking good and the optics of this are terrible. So drop me a line in the comment section below. I'd love to hear the pulse of the people, the voice of the SMT Nation. Let me know what you guys think of these two news pieces, where you kind of see things, how you see things. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And if you want to help out the SMT Nation and you want to get more involved with the communities, we've got a lot of things going on here with the SMT YouTube channel. We've got the second channel where all of our live stream podcasts happen. I'll put a link in the description box for that. Also in the description box, I'll put links for the SMT Patreon, the Sneed Tech Twitter handle. We also have the Sneed Mobile Tech Wireless Report audio-only podcast. We're on all your favorite podcast applications. They're all there. And also, Megadon.net, the only social media app that you will ever need. Take your social media security seriously. No ads, no tracking. Megadon.net. Use that invite code to get access to those protections. Before you get going, do check out some of these other videos. I've hand-selected some that you might enjoy. And before you leave today, also, if you could, please like and share this video. And maybe you're new, maybe it's your first time here, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell so you never miss an upload from the SMT. Well, that wraps up my time on this video. Thank you all again for watching. I am the SMT, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.